Alright, I'm gonna do a little Easter Bunny collage drawing, and it's a mixed media project, so you're gonna be using newspaper. You're gonna want to rip up your newspaper into small pieces, and then you'll want a glue stick or glue, or maybe Mod Podge if you have it, and then probably dark gray or black markers, and maybe pink or red colored pencil, marker, or crayon for this section. That would be like the inside of the ears and maybe the nose. So to start out with this project, you want to start by making the shape of the bunny head. So we're going to start by thinking of kind of a rainbow shape in the middle of the paper. And then it doesn't matter if I kind of scribbled it because I'm going to cover it with newspaper anyways. And then I want to have two kind of circles on the side for big cheeks. So I would make two circles over here. And then one sort of like teardrop shape in the center. That's going to be the area where the mouth will be. And then I will make two ovals pretty close to this teardrop shape that I have right here. Then I'm going to drop down two shoulders on the sides. I'm going to add some ears that are going to go all the way up to the corner of the paper, and those can curve down if you'd like. They can just be perked up. And then we would think about where the nose would be about right here, and the mouth, and you might want to add little buck teeth. So then I can start by adding some of the paper that I've already torn up. So I'm just going to use the area that is the top part of his head and his side cheeks to just get started with this. So I'm going to kind of overlap them a little bit, and that might mean that I'll have to add some more glue in a couple seconds to some of these areas. I want to keep this area in the center white for now, and I want to maybe tear up my pieces so that they're small. The reason that I like using the newspaper for this is that it gives its own kind of texture, and bunnies are usually sort of either white or gray or brown, and this sort of gives us that idea of the texture that might happen with a bunny. So just going to take as many little pieces as I can to fill in some of these areas, and it is okay if they don't all overlap. I guess I need more glue there. Alright, so once I fill this whole section, it'll be a little bit easier to see where I'm going with this. But you could decide to add more texture to your bunny, or more layers to your bunny. You could decide to add cotton on the inside, or collage your entire bunny with cotton if you've got enough cotton balls at home. But newspaper gives a nice gray texture that would be like the fur, and probably have an old phone book or old newspapers where that you could tear up this kind of textured. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit more. I like the layered look, so I'm just going to add little pieces on top of those now, and try to make sure that I fill in any areas that I might have missed. The more layers that I have on here, I think the more that it looks like fur. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to add anywhere that I see a little white section, or something I want to add a little bit more to, I can just cover up those sections. Alright, So I would do this up into the ear as well, and in this whole area down here. I'm gonna just go ahead and start by, actually I'm just gonna finish collaging him because I think that it would be easier to see the whole guy. It won't take me too long, but you can always skip ahead if this is too boring and tedious to watch me collage. Totally understand. Alright, so I'm just going to fill this in with some larger sections so that I can kind of move it along. And then I want to make sure that I layer those. I'm going to add a little bit more over here. Alright, so once I have all of my bunny filled in with some newsprint, I'm going to want to let him dry before I start adding my marker on the top, but because I would like for you guys to see the next step, I'm going to just go ahead and start using my marker. So you could use marker or colored pencil or crayon, whatever materials you have. Paint would work really well too. Alright, so I'm going to do the bunny nose and bunny mouth with that, and then I'm going to add I'm going to go over some of my newsprint, and then I want to make some circles here because I'm going to fill this whole section of the eye in so that it's black, and that's just the little reflection. See, this is why you want to make sure that you don't put glue in that section, or that you allow the glue to dry, because that I just put glue on my marker, which is not good for the marker. Alright, so I'm going to go around that. I'm going to add the teeth. And this whole section down here, I would have added more of this, so I'm going to just make sure that I add a quick layer real quick. Alright, so then I would want to make sure that I add my little whiskers, but I want to add a little kind of fluff around here so that this looks like it's popping out a little bit, so that his nose, his whole snout area sort of comes out at us. And then I would add some whiskers. And add a little bit of pink up here for his ears as well. It doesn't matter if it doesn't completely get colored in, because I don't want it to be way too bright. And again, I'm not sure that I'm coloring over wet glue right now, so I don't want to do that. And then I might do like an outline on just one side of it, just kind of make that pop out. Then I could go around my entire bunny rabbit and follow the newspaper that's sort of already ripped and gives that texture of it being a little bit like fur, and make him pop out. And then I want to think about what I could have in the background for my bunny. Maybe he's in a field. Maybe there is a bunny family back behind him. Maybe he's at his bunny house. Maybe he's got an Easter basket back there. Who knows what this bunny is up to. But I want to think about what would be in the background. It could just be a colorful background. You could add eyelashes to yours. You could even add a little eyebrow if you want. You could add a carrot coming out of his mouth. All sorts of fun things you could do with your bunny. Alright, so I think my bunny just needs some color in the background, so I'll probably just give it some sort of rainbow in the background. Guess I'm not doing a whole rainbow. I just decided to go right up against the bunny to color, make him pop out against the background as much as possible. So I'm going to make some sort of pattern, just not really sure what it is yet. This often happens while I'm making artwork. Have a plan, but then I decide to change it. That's totally fine. Alright, so from there, I'm not sure what else to do. I think I'll just add a little bit more pink out here, and then probably could have come up with a better background. I'm not loving this, but that's alright. Always add more and change it up. Or I could cut my bunny out, add him to a whole new background. Alright, well, I hope you guys have fun making a bunny. You can go ahead and start out with the drawing that I made, and you can just color that in. You could add texture to it, or you can collage your bunny with the newspaper like this, or if you have construction paper and you want to do like a brown or gray or tan construction paper, you could try that. I personally like the the way that this texture looks. I think it kind of already looks like fur. If you wanted to add more fur, you could use like a really light gray crayon or light gray pencil. This is actually probably too dark, to add more texture to your bunny at the end if you wanted to add a little bit more in some sections. Like that. All right, have fun making a bunny.